Hi, I'm Roseanna from Crochet, and today I'm going to be doing part 2 of your question and answers. I split it into 2 videos because one just seemed to go quite long, so I'm going to do part 2 now with the rest of your questions. Okay, this one is from Bernadette, who is in the UK, in Cambridge, so hi from my home country. Okay, only came across your site last week and wishing I'd found you earlier. Your designs are so beautiful, especially the flowers. Was actually searching for Irish crochet flowers and leaves when I came across your site. I'm wondering whether you can write more of these patterns. And I'm also interested to know more of your background and how you ended up in Brazil from Manchester. In response to your first question, thank you for your interest in Irish crochet. I actually really enjoy doing lace crochet. The older I've got, the finer my work has got. And I enjoy creating little flowers and little buttons with silk thread. Now, at the moment, I have already organized all of my free patterns until the end of the year, but I'm still missing December. So maybe in December I will do a collection of Irish lace flowers for you. So give me time, because all these things take a lot of time and effort, and I have to schedule and also work around all my other designs and sponsorships which I'm working on with other people. But bear with me, I will get there. Okay, question. How did I end up from Manchester to Brazil? I married a Brazilian. Simple as that. First of all, we went to Germany, and then after a few years, we decided to come to Brazil. And here we are. So it's just me, my husband, and Pod. And we're really happy here. I miss a lot of things from home, but I'm very lucky to have the life I do in Brazil. I know I'm very privileged, and I have beautiful weather all the time, good food. I'm virtually living the life of Riley, so I'm very lucky. But the main reason is my husband is Brazilian. Okay, the next question is about crochet again. So I really need a pretty but rather simple border, something that can add a little lacy look, but not too lacy because it's for a baby Afghan. And I don't want the little fingers to get caught. I would like something with a shell, but something prettier than just a basic shell. Can you help? From Lisa. Okay, Lisa. There are loads and loads of patterns available on Pinterest. Pinterest is my Bible for crochet designs. I love to look at old Russian and Irish lace patterns. Now, if you go into Pinterest and type in lace patterns, schematics, or crochet patterns, you will tend to find some images which is half in Russian, but the crochet symbols is universal. And there I use a lot of lace patterns from there, and you can get a lot of variety. So that is where I would start. The other thing I would recommend is crochet books. This is one of my go-to books when I need a nice border, and this is Crochet Borders Around the Corner by Eddie Ekman, and it is full of loads of different designs and color patterns with all the schematics, and there are a few quite nice lacy ones. I've actually used a modification of a lace pattern here. Let me just find it for you. For one of my designs, I think it might work as well for a baby Afghan, because you don't want too many holes, because the fingers can get caught. I remember when I first started crocheting, I thought I would make a crochet bed for my dog, and Emily now is 12 and she's quite an old lady, but I didn't take into account her claws. And you know, when dogs sit down, they go round and round and round to get comfy, and she actually got her dew claw stuck in the crochet because I didn't think of this problem. Obviously now I wouldn't do that and make sure it's a very tight lace pattern. But you're right, it is something we really need to think about, especially when creating items for babies. Let me see if I can find this. I think it was 73. Yes. So this is, I've done a variation of this pattern on one of my blankets. And this book is quite easy to get from. I bought this from Waterstones a few years ago, but I know they still have it on Amazon. If I can find it, I'll put a link down below for you. So this is a good go-to, and also Pinterest. Go on there for the old Irish lace or old Russian lace. And don't worry that it says lace. You can use any yarn, you can use any hook. Just use the schematic and transfer it into whatever medium you're using. Next pattern. Was it easy to get started? Like, what tools would I need? And an easy pattern to try. Tools. Crochet hook. No, you don't want a small crochet hook. I don't care what anyone says. In Brazil, they swear by you start by with a 2mm or a 1.25. No, you want to see your crochet stitches. You want to start with something quite big. I would recommend above a 4.5. Now, off the top of my head, I can't remember what that is in American. I think it's above a G. And you want to start with a pattern that's really simple. Go for something like a crochet granny square, a simple crochet scarf, a crochet cup holder, something which is in a line and turns. Because that is the first thing you need to do, is to learn how to do foundations chain, do a few simple stitches and turn your work. And then after that, I would advise going on to something in the round, something simple like making a hat. Now there are tons and tons of free crochet patterns online. You'll have loads of options to choose from. If you just want to get started, don't worry about gauge, just go for it. Grab a crochet hook and make sure your yarn matches your crochet hook, because when you don't have those two matching, everything comes out of equilibrium and it becomes very complicated. So go to a yarn shop, get something like a 4.5 5mm crochet hook and some thick yarn, and start from there. And there are a ton of YouTube tutorials to help you get started. Luna Bell is a lovely lady who I believe is from Manchester, and she has asked me what do I miss from Manchester. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm Manchester born and bred. I love my city. I even have my city's symbol on me, and I miss so much about my city. But the biggest thing I probably miss is getting on a bus and going into Manchester City on an early Sunday morning or early Saturday when everything is quiet, and just walking around town. I was very lucky. My Nana worked at Manchester Town Hall, and when I was young, I used to go there cleaning with her in the evenings, and I was so lucky because I got to go into the Manchester Town Hall every single night after all the offices had left, and I got to go through all the underground tunnels. And it's a piece of nostalgia for me, is seeing the Manchester Bee, because it's a symbol of hard work, about community, and it's a symbol I carry strong with me, even being so far away. So when I go home, I want to go to town early. I want to walk around the quiet streets on a Saturday or Sunday morning, and I go looking around for the Manchester Bee signs and just take my time. And then I would take my time slowly and go up to Manchester Art Gallery and go and have a coffee and the best soup in the city. So that is what I will be doing this year when I go home. I'm really looking forward to my visit home in October. So Manchester Art Gallery will be on the top of my list. Okay, the next question. I would love to know how to work out how to do a half granny square with, say, a starburst pattern. Is there a formula that will work for any square? Thank you. Okay, this is quite a technical question, but there is a formula. Now, it depends what type of square you want. Do you want the triangular or do you want the rectangular? Now, the basic theory is find the pattern that you like and halve it. And then you're going to add 1. So, for example, you've got round 1. It's got 12 double crochet. You are not going to do 6 double crochet because your square will actually fall a little short. You want to do 7. So you're going to do 7 double crochet and then continue the pattern with that 1 extra stitch. Okay? It's not 1 extra repeat, it's just 1 extra stitch. Okay, so find your pattern and just add 1 and then add 1 on the next. So it's sort of trial and error. Now if you're doing this on the diagonal, it will change a little bit because you're going to have to create a diagonal point which accommodates the diagonal fall and also a few extra chains. So it does depend on your pattern. Okay, if you have your pattern that you like, send me in an email and I'll try and help you out. Okay, I hope that's helpful now. Okay, the next question. I was wondering if you have any ideas for a way to crochet without getting one of my arthritis fingers aggravated. Now I have arthritis in my left index finger, which causes a bit of pain. Now, this can all be maybe helped a little bit with the use of wrist supports, often because maybe it reduces the amount of movement that you're making when you crochet. I may be very wrong about this, but I have a serious fear of getting arthritis because I do repetitive movements all the time. But previous to this, I was a double bass player. So my hands are very unusually strong, to be honest. And I have been trained very well to have repetitive movements in my wrist. But one of the things I learned as a musician is you need to reduce the amount of excess movement. You need to make yourself as ergonomical and as efficient as possible. And I try to transfer this concept into my crochet to help me crochet faster, because the less movement we make, the less energy we're wasting. So I use wrist supports for here, and maybe with your finger it might be helpful maybe to wrap your yarn a different way. If you're causing your finger to have strain, or if there's a lot of movement because of the yarn, maybe try wrapping your yarn maybe around your 3rd finger or your 1st finger. Just have a play with how you move and your tension, and try not to do any movements like this, you see, where it's creating quite a lot of strain. You want to be as relaxed as possible. Think of a violinist. When you see a violinist, they're not gripping their violin, they need to be relaxed, and it's as if the instrument is floating, and it's the same concept I try to incorporate into my crochet. So I have a little play around with how to make it a bit more ergonomical, less movement, and as soon as you feel any twinge of pain, just stop. It's not worth creating more pain. Just let it down for a few weeks and then maybe come back in when you're feeling a bit better. So I hope that's helpful. I'm sorry I can't be much more helpful than that, and I wish you a little speedy recovery with your arthritis. Okay, we're on our final question, and this is a Brazilian one, which I'm looking forward to. I just moved to Brazil last year. I'm still getting used to the language and culture, but things are going well. I want to buy yarn for more crochet projects. Is there a store or brand or small business you will recommend for crochet in Brazil? My go-to brands in Brazil. Brazil is quite limiting on the variety of yarn that we can get. It's not like Europe, it's not like the US. It is limiting. But with that being said, there are some very reliable brands that I will always turn to for my designs. And one of those is Circular. Now this isn't sponsored, there's no affiliated links. This is just my personal choice that I have been using their yarn for nearly 10 years. And I like their yarns because they are 100% cotton. They are a good quality cotton. Most of my designs are made with them. They are very reasonably priced, and they have quite a big range in terms of thickness. So I will turn the Egyptian cotton from Queen, and then I would use Annie for when I was making all my bikinis, because it was good quality cotton, it washed well, it kept the shape. And then now I'm progressing more on thicker yarns, so I will use Circular's amigurumi. And this is the yarn that I've actually made my, let me just pull this up here, my cottage garden blanket, which is just here, and that is made all from Circular, not charm, Circular amigurumi yarn. Now, with that in respect, so that's the brand that I would turn to, and there are loads of places you can get this. In most craft stores in Brazil, you will find Circular. For online, I would normally use, I think it's Bazar Horizonte or São José Amarinhos. I'll put them both down below, and those are the places that I would use if I want to do a big load of yarn. I'll buy there because it's cheaper and they deliver. The only problem with Brazil is sometimes the deliveries take quite a while. Okay, so get ready to wait if you're in a rush. Now, regarding other types of yarn, I have just found a company called Fio das Fazendas, who I'm going to be working with in the next few weeks, and I will share some of their yarn with them. And they create their own wool range, which is all from the South of America. So I'm really looking forward to trying this yarn, trying it with some of my designs. This yarn is the same price as you would pay in Europe or America for indie dyed yarn, so it is the higher price bracket. So as soon as I have my mitts on that yarn, I will give you a review and show you some. Now, the other yarn company I will turn for if I want some yarns that I know from outside of Brazil is I will go to Novelaria. Now, Novelaria is in São Paulo, and they also have an online shop. It's not the best online shop. It's not easy to see the products they have. I find it a bit dated, not so user-friendly. For example, when you want to look for yarns, you will just get all yarns. You won't get a section which is worsted or DK or fingering. That doesn't happen. It's just all at once. But I will turn to them when I want some quality yarns, such as Malabrigo yarns, which are 100% merino wool. But you also have the option to contact their shop directly and speak to them via WhatsApp. I'm one of those customers who just send a message saying, "Hi, what do you have in store? Just send me a picture of your shelves." And they send me pictures of all the shelves they have in the shop, and then I go through the photos and I zoom in, and then I'll message Andrea and say, "Look, can you send me a picture of those yarns?" And they're really good because the variety they have in their shop is double, triple what they have online, and they will do a personal service for you. This is all free, and they will take pictures. They will go outside to take pictures in natural light, so you can get a really good idea. So those are my places to go. And like I said, I will be working with a new Brazilian yarn company, which I'm really looking forward to. It's going to be my first wool yarn, which is from Brazil. So watch this space. So that will be coming soon. And what else? Well, that is all the questions done now. And I would like to say a big thank you to everyone who has sent a message. Thank you for all the messages to get well. I'm definitely on the mend. I sound much worse than I actually am, but I'm much better. Also, if you would like, I could make this a regular thing. Now, while I've been ill, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos of other craft artists, fiber artists. And one of the things I noticed with one of the podcasters, which I was really intrigued to watch, and I actually watched quite a lot of her videos while I was ill, was Desiree Knits. Was it Desiree Knits? And she does a question and answer every single week, and she will take 2 or 3 questions and she will answer them in high detail for you, to interact with you every week. Now, I would like to know, is this an option you would want? I don't believe I will get enough movement yet to have a question every single week, a question session, but maybe every 2 weeks we could do a question and answer session, and you can ask me anything regarding crochet business, crochet photography, selling online, and I will try and answer those for you. So if you would be interested in that, please put a message down below, put a question down below if you have one, and I will look into making more of these podcasts answering your questions style videos. So right now, I'm going to love you and leave you and say thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.